All right, it's about 7 p.m. I've been waiting until this time to take off for a couple of reasons. Number one, there's a lot of guide traffic on this river, so there's a lot of people on the river during the day, not a lot of people late at night. And so I'm going to take off about 7 p.m. I'm going to float down, pull up somewhere, camp, do some fishing, float out in the morning. It was up to about 80 today, kind of sweltering hot really, at least for Alaska I felt like. It's supposed to get down to 50 tonight, and by tomorrow morning it's supposed to be raining. And so let's go ahead and get this float started. So I'm in the lake portion of the float here, and it's easier to go backwards. You know, all the power, your big back muscles are a lot stronger than trying to go the other way. We'll go the other way for just a second here. And so this is the other way, and when you're going this way, really all you're using is basically your pecs, probably in your triceps some. But you really don't get a lot of power. You can't use your legs. Going the other way, you can actually use your legs some too. It's just a lot more efficient. It doesn't take as much effort. And so when you see like professional boat racers, the rowing kind, they notice they're always going backwards like this. And it's because this is how you get your power from it. So we got probably, I don't know, 40 minutes of this. And then we'll be able to turn it around and go down the river. But we'll take a quick little gear check here because this is an overnighter. And if you forgot something important, it's really too late to go back, but it wouldn't be great. So take a quick little gear check here while we're floating along. So right now, just take a quick little look here. It's a gorgeous day right now. We'll start in the back here. So I have a compartment in the back here, and I can put a seat on here, which makes it kind of nice. It's a fun seat to ride in. It rides high and fast. Right now I have a stand in there that I can put a piece of pipe in there, and I can put my GoPro in there. So in here I have a life jacket there on top. I have a tent in the back and a sleeping pad in the front there. We'll get back to that. In my cooler I have some dinner, something to drink. And it's breakfast. I'm gonna have yogurt for breakfast in the morning. I got a chair in the bottom. I got a barbecue, and in my barbecue I put briquettes in the bottom inside of a plastic bag so they don't get wet, so I can just save space. And I have a chimney to start those. Here, that's just weights and fishing tackle and whatnot. This, I call it, it's like personal hygiene and extra fishing stuff. And then this one is GoPro stuff and socks and whatnot. Oh, and we still got here, this is a fish box. I got shoes to ride my bicycle back with, wading boots, and a tackle bag. I got a spare oar here, and I think it worked in the last video. If you watch all of my videos, in my last video I had 2 seats up front, but I had a visitor the other day and I only needed 1 seat there, so I took 1 out so that we could balance it, because you can balance the boat with that seat by moving it back and forth with the weight of the person. And I wanted to be able to be level. And as long as I had it out, I thought, you know, right now it's just me. I might sit in the front of it, but I don't need another seat there. So I left that seat out. In here, I brought a drone, I got a flashlight, I got a sun hat, pelican case, got a fishing rod down there. This is the rest of that oar, and then the blade of the oar is somewhere down in here too. And then I got rod holders here for when I fish for kings, which I'm not doing today, by the way. And then in here, this is a fish cooler. I've got grates in the bottom of it to put fish in. When you put fish on, then the slime goes out. And then I got some drinks right now and a jug of ice, because if I get some fish and fillet tonight, I don't want them to stay cold. Up in here I have clothes. In here, oh, rain jacket, because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. This has got my sleeping bag in it. I have a bunch of stuff up underneath the bow. Water, fish bonker, things like that. And then in here I have all my cooking stuff, and then I have a pair of waders here. So that is everything I brought with me, and I got an extra rod over here, but that's everything I brought with me, and it should be everything I need for tonight, although when I'm missing something is when I'll figure out I needed it. But I think I got everything I need. It should be a great night. We'll look at a little action here on the river, and then we'll pull up and hopefully get some drone footage tonight. We'll see how that goes. And it's probably, just in terms of temperature, I guess I haven't said that. Right now it's probably not a super great guess, but I'm going to say 70 maybe, 65. I mean, it's easy short sleeve weather. And then you can see, I'm going to scoot over here so you can see these clouds behind me. I think this is the weather that's moving in. You can see over my shoulder there, it looks like some thunderheads coming in, so we'll see how that goes. Again, I'm going to get turned around, put some miles down, and get into the river so we can do some fishing. So we don't have to work as hard. Part's over. Actually, the fun part starts. I kind of like drifting along. Nice and peaceful. And it looks like my plan so far, I haven't seen another boat. So my plan so far is good, although in that section right there, it's not uncommon to see a couple of boats, but further down here where people pull up the fish is generally speaking where you see more boats. But I think that people will be pulling out. It's Sunday actually, and so a lot of people are probably, you know, getting out of here and heading back to work or heading back to Anchorage. And so it wouldn't surprise me if we don't have the vast majority of the river to ourselves yet, which wouldn't hurt my feelings. We're going to move over into that faster water, and we're curling up right there. There's probably a big enough rock there we want to get. I think we're going to put that through. We'll just run this chute down. As big a whitewater as you're going to see on this river. There's going to be rocks here and there, and this and that, you got a bit. That's probably about the biggest whitewater there is. Dinner going. It's about 10:30 right now. I've picked up one sockeye. It hasn't been fast. I think you're behind the weeds just there a little bit, but you can see my tent over here to my right, your left. Drift boat in the background. We'll do a little panoramic here in just a second. Let these charcoals get going. Not going to be a fancy dinner. I just have a big giant sausage dog I'm going to have for dinner. But it should be easy and probably hit the spot. There we go. Big dog. That's gonna be dinner. So it's 11:30 at night. Bugs are coming out. Only people in the river above me right there leaving. And I got some bank mates here that said they were going to leave when those guys come by, so they'll probably. All right, so camped here on the riverbank. Fishing wasn't very good today, but that's okay. This is a little 2-man MSR tent. It's called a Hubba Hubba. You can't see it very well in there probably. We'll take a look in there just in a little bit. Flashlight maybe. That's the whole thing. Not very big. Okay, so here I am in my 2-man tent. It's midnight right now. I'll turn the slide off in a minute and we'll take a little peek outside to see how dark it is. So again, it's midnight. You can see that it's light out there. It's midnight. All right, so time to take a little nap. We'll see you guys in the morning. So this tent still has a lot of dew on it, so it's wet. Once we get back to camp, we'll hang it up somewhere and let it dry all the way and then repack it. But probably time to get on the river here. So we're heading down the river, find another place to try to fish. To make the most of our time, we're gonna have breakfast now. Lots of times in the mornings I have oatmeal just because it's easy. I'm a really huge oatmeal fan, but it is easy. So I brought something that will hopefully be a little better today. Well, that I know will be better, at least in terms of my preferences. It's easy. When you camp out or you're on the river or something like that, one of the, I think, major factors is when you're camping to just keep things easy. Back at kind of my home base camp, it's nice to have more gourmet-ish meals, if you will, something better. But on the river, easy is easy. And it means you have to pack less gear. I did bring oatmeal. I don't know why, just because it was in my cook box. But if at all possible, my goal was not to eat it this time. So, floating down the river, great morning. The sun hasn't come up yet. It must be probably about 4:30 is my guess. I've not looked at the clock all morning, but it's probably a decent guess. Cruise down the river at the river's pace, and might pull up and fish, or might go back to the tent, the big tent, a little rest in for an adventure tonight. We'll see how it goes. So we'll get a few casts in and see what happens. There we go. That's a nice little sockeye. Well, I haven't had coffee yet today. I got up, had breakfast, got on the river, stopped here and was interrupted by success. So, making coffee, latest fish. Kind of a race to see if I can fillet a fish faster than a jet oil can boil water. Oh, I win. Thinking either he's really fast at that or that jump wheel's not on. It's on. I'm surprised that it isn't growing too. There it is. Boy, that stick works so well. It's got the perfect bend on it. I hate not keep it, but maybe getting back to Mother Nature. Alright, so that's going to sit there for about 10 minutes. We'll go ahead and see what we can do about getting the fish. So it's already been a pretty nice morning. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I'm gonna head back, get a nap in. I got a really cool, fun adventure planned for the night. I gotta check on a couple of things, but what I'd like to do is float this lower river, Kings, again. Kind of have to see how that goes. Bank fishing in there, not a single one has a fish on. We're just gonna back in. I'll pop out instead of cheesing it down here at the boat ramp. Few miles and we'll be at the truck, and then we'll go back down and get the boat. Okay, we're back here at camp in the truck. There we are. so many things. Yep. Well, hey, you guys have a great day on the river.
Hey, yeah. Hope we get back out and get back in them there for you.
Well, I'm hoping to do this lower river this afternoon for the like 2 a.m. tide for kings.
Yeah.
But I want to check and see who's out and what's going on.
Have you checked? Is it still catch and kill on the keel off?
What? No.
No?
Catch and release only.
That's what I thought, yeah.
But I'd rather eat sockeye, but I'd rather catch king.
I could have picked you guys up over there. I figured rather than walking down and trying to push it back up the little river here, I was alright.
Well, I didn't talk a whole lot on this one, partially because I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Probably slept about 2 hours. And so I'm going to go back, get some sleep, wake up and cook one of these fish. I'll show you my favorite way to eat any seafood, really, whether it be sockeye or halibut are the two that I eat most of. I'll show you my favorite way to prepare those in a little bit. And then later tonight, I got a great trip coming up, at least I hope. So be looking for that in the future. All right, I got up here, got everything parked. It's supposed to rain today, but it looks gorgeous. So what I've done is I've opened up everything on my boat, let it get dried out. I've hung up my tent from last night. We'll get that all dried out. Got my waders turned inside out. They're hanging over there, drying out. Got a couple things in the trailer, a couple things in the tent here. Got my under wader pants there, my sleeping pad there, and I hear that cot right there calling my name. So I'm going to take a little bit of a nap, and then we'll get up, do a couple of things, and then I'll show you my favorite way to eat sockeye. Well, I moved some stuff around, and I think everything now is dry. There's my tent, my sleeping bag. Waders are still out there, and I'm sure that those are dry now. I took the boat off the truck and propped it up this way so that the water will run out of it. Everything was dry in the compartment, so I was able to get those closed up. Wading boots aren't dry yet, but they take forever. I never worry about them. So I'm going to go ahead and pack everything up and then get started on some dinner. Okay, we're going to make blackened salmon for dinner, and then we'll have a couple of sides that, things that grow in the dirt and whatnot. But I'll go ahead and show you that process real quickly. So I have this is a tail section of salmon, sockeye salmon that has, and so since it's tail section, it has no bones in it. And so I'm going to skin it first. So I'm going to cut down to the skin and turn my blade this way, and then just saw it along there. And what it does, it just splits the flesh right off the skin, just like that. So this is the fat. I'm going to leave that on there. There's not a whole lot on there, and realistically salmon fat isn't bad for you. And right along here there's kind of like bones or a little crunchy thing. And when I do this, I like to cut that out. So I'm just going to cut it just like this. Just like that. And then this piece goes over here with his skin friend. So I'm going to end up making these two, and you can see that there's a fair amount of fat on that. Sometimes I'm going to cut some of that off though, actually. You know, there are some people that are going good, and there are some people that are saying, oh my god, don't cut that off there. And then here I have some asparagus, put a little bit of butter in there. I'm going to add just a couple of water to that so it'll steam. And then I'm going to put that on the barbecue right with this corn. And let's see what we've got happening over here. Okay, so I've melted butter in this frying pan, and I got this skillet going. It's a 20-inch skillet on like a turkey fire burner, and I want this to be so hot that when you put water in it, yeah, that's about hot enough. So now what I'm going to do is take my salmon, move this over where you can see it. I'm going to put it in the butter, get a little coating of butter on both sides, and put it right in there. And that should smoke like crazy because it's kind of searing the side. You want to get a good sear on it, because what that does is it locks the juices into it. And so it ends up coming out looking a little bit burned. And the thing about this is, when you cook fish go from being raw to being overdone almost immediately. And so we're going to wash this real carefully. It's kind of sort of like a pancake in the sense that you can see that when you see the edges start cooking up, it's not there yet, but you can see that this is starting to get a little cook on it. And this does not take very long at all. This is super fast. One of the reasons I like it is easy, but it also tastes super good. Sometimes I put a little Creole seasoning or some kind of spicy seasoning on it. That's also really good additive to it. But this makes great dinner. You can put on salads later on. Fantastic way to cook food. We're going to say that's done. Well, and there we are. The finished product. A little salt on my corn. Perfectly done. Look at that. Very nice. Take my word for it. It's good.